Cozy Here With You by miloqu. Chapter 2, Hiding His Love, Bakugos' Point of View. I open my eyes to hear a gentle knocking on my bedroom door. I look over to my phone, my hand reaching out for it, 1:18 a.m. I went to sleep about 4 p.m. I've been asleep 9 hours. I push the pillow I was holding away from me and walk over to the door, rubbing my eyes. Ugh, whose is it at this time of night? I said quietly but intimidatingly. My door cracked open, and stood before me was Kirishima holding onto a shark plush in his arms. I can't sleep, he muttered. Oh, I yawned. Come in then. I walked off, but I saw him gulp. I did tell you to come see me if you couldn't sleep, so get in already. I understood the importance of sleep, so I tried to stay quiet, and plus, it's a huge problem when you can't even keep awake while walking. Kirishima needs my help. I grip his wrist and pull him inside my dorm room, clicking the door shut. Get in, I whisper, heading back into the bed. Kirishima yawned and climbed in as well. Covering his body with the blankets, I smiled slightly as he hugged into the shark plushie. Come here. I grab him and pull him close to my body, holding him and feeling his warmth. As the night went on, it was clear I wasn't sleeping. I'd already slept long enough, and I was no longer tired. Me and Eijiro laid on bed, cuddling up together, my heart racing. His face was buried in my chest, and his legs were pulled up slightly, our knees touching. My arms were wrapped around him, one hand on the back of his head and the other around his waist. I watched him breathe as he slept, so peacefully. Eijiro, I muttered, laying my face on the top of his head. His hands that were once pressed in the gap between our bodies moved around me and began to hold me close to him. Are you okay? I whispered as he shivered in my arms. No response. We lay there for about half an hour before he moved again. He moved his hand to mine that was wrapped around his waist, my heart racing faster as he linked our hands together. He looked up at me, his eyes slightly red, with black circles under his eyes, not any better. He moved our hands into the gaps between our body, moving upwards closer to my face. Kirishima, I mumbled as he stared up at me. Go back to sleep. I began to play with his soft red hair, his eyes closing slowly. Our faces were so close. I felt my body shake as my heart raced and my face heated up. I woke up to the beating of my alarm. Before I could talk, Eijiro looked over at me. He had been laying facing away from me, in my arms. I know, he yawned. Once I fell asleep, I couldn't know if he slept well, so I stared at his red eyes. We should get up then. His sharp teeth were visible, and his smile on his face sent a joyful feeling to my heart. Damn well know that, dumb hair, I yelled, moving my arms from around his body and getting off my bed. He laughed slightly and got up as well, grabbing a shark plushie from the floor. After a few minutes, he left to his own dorm room, and I got myself ready. I decided I wanted to look some sort of neat today, so I wore a tie and actually took pride in my look. What am I doing this for? I mumble as I look into the mirror, staring at my neat uniform. I sigh and turned to the door, ready for class. Ka-chan! Some nerd with an annoying voice said from behind me. Oh, Deku. I scoffed, rolling my eyes. Bakugo! Kirishima said from his desk. He waved at me with a bright smile on his face, that annoying damn smile he always has. Spread from ear to ear. I pulled my sleeve down to my hand and covered my face with it as I walked over to my seat. I felt a smile spread across my cheeks as my eyes looked over at Eijiro, whose head was up and a bright expression was covering his face. My heart beat fast in my chest. Eijiro placed his head down on the desk and closed his eyes, breathing gently. He looked soft and peaceful. Kiri, I whispered, putting my head down too, still staring endlessly at him. My heart fluttered and my face was red as a rose. Hey, Kirishima! I heard an annoying voice from next to me. What could that grape possibly want? I scoffed, looking down at him. So, we saw you getting blushy over someone earlier. Who? Denki grinned, trying to get more involved in my life. I scoffed and rolled my eyes. Me? Blushy? What a waste of time. No one here is worth my time. I scowled. No one but Kirishima. I lowered my head again. We saw you staring over the other side of the classroom, and Hagakari said she heard you muttering someone's name. Denki teased, Mineta giving me one of his gross looks. It's nothing. I roll my eyes again, brushing off the questions and picking up my notebook. Is it Tetsu? She's over there, Mineta said. Frog girl? I stumbled on my words slightly, forgetting everything else as soon as I realized they knew exactly where I was staring. Damn, it is her, isn't it? Denki smiled, putting his hand on my shoulder. I scuffed and shoved it away. Only Kirishima can touch me, not you extras. I scoffed, walking out of the classroom, feeling my face go red as I remember what I said. Only Kiri can touch me, no one else. And I wasn't lying. End of chapter 2.